Of opening is made for tonight's forum meeting. Before I go through the preliminaries, this is a forum, it's a question and answer night. So we've got questions about all the items prepared before us. The public can participate in a minute. So next week is the decision-making night. So just so everyone's aware of that. So declaration of opening tonight's forum meeting is made at 5:30 p.m. Welcome everyone. So item 2.1 is acknowledgement of country. So we're on beautiful Ballarong land. So I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians on the land in which we meet. And that is the Ballarong people and the Wadjuk people to the west of the Shire, both of the Noongar Nation. And we pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging. Item 2.2, recording of council meetings. So members of the council and members of the public, or if you're in the gallery in this instance, are advised that this meeting will be live streamed and audio recorded and made available on the Shire of Northam's YouTube channel. Yes, we have a YouTube channel. If members of the public want to access the recording of this meeting, they can do so via the Shire of Northam website, and it is relatively easy to find because I found it myself. Item number 3, we're on page 6 of the agenda, is attendance. 3.1 attendees. All 9 members of the council are sitting around the table and are present. All staff as listed are present. Yep, exact same numbers, so that's exactly right. So item 3.2 is apologies, that is nil. So we're on page 7 now. Item 3.3, approved leaves of absence, that is nil. Item 3.4, absent, that is nil. We now go to page 8. So item 4 is disclosure of interest. I do have a number and I'll read through those now. And councillors know that they can actually let the rest of us know during an item as it comes up. But to quickly go through these, item 12.1, Bushfire Advisory Committee meeting. Councillor Appleton has declared impartiality. Mr Chris Maris is known to Councillor Appleton. 12.1, same item, Councillor Hughes has declared impartiality. Some members of the Bushfire Advisory Committee are known to Councillor Hughes. Same item, 12.1, Councillor Polton has declared impartiality. Members of Bakers Hill and Mundaring Bushfire Brigades are known to Councillor Polton. 13.1.2, fees and charges, community halls. Councillor Gierak has declared impartiality. Members of Progress Associations mentioned in this item are known to Councillor Gierak. Same item, fees and charges, community halls. President Antonio, that's me, has declared impartiality. Is a member of Southern Community Association, which is mentioned in the report, so it's minimal. Same item, Councillor Hughes has declared impartiality. Fees and charges, community halls. Some members of Progress Association are known to Councillor Hughes. Same item, Councillor Polton has declared impartiality. Members of Bakers Hill and Mundaring Progress are known to Councillor Polton. 13.1.2, same item. This is fees and charges, community halls. Councillor Mencelli has declared impartiality. Some of the members of Progress Associations administering the community halls are known to Councillor Mencelli. Councillor Appleton, same item, 13.1.2, has declared impartiality. Members of Progress Associations mentioned in the agenda are known to Councillor Appleton. Councillor Bigland has declared impartiality, same item. Secretary Treasurer of Mundaring Progress Association. Members of Clackline Hall and Bakers Hill Recreation Centre Pavilion are known to Councillor Bigland. Councillor Williams has declared impartiality, same item, 13.1.2, fees and charges, community halls. Councillor Williams is on the Executive Committee of Bakers Hill Progress Association, one of the Shire's halls leases mentioned in this item. Previous member of Clackline and Spencersbrook Progress, and members of other Progress Associations are known to Councillor Williams. So item 13.5.1, which is Spencersbrook Station Master's House budget request. Councillor Gierak has declared impartiality. Members of the Spencersbrook Progress Association are known to Councillor Gierak. President Antonio, that's me, has declared impartiality. Members of Spencersbrook Progress Association are known to Councillor and President Antonio and have discussed this item in the past, or the funding request in the past. Same item, Spencersbrook Station Master's House funding request. Councillor Bigland has declared impartiality. Members of the Spencersbrook Progress Association are known to Councillor Bigland. So we're now on to 13, yep, same item, 13.5.1, my apologies. Councillor Williams has declared impartiality. Previous member of Spencerville Progress Association and has discussed this matter with the previous Progress President and provided letters of support to the current President with regards to obtaining external funding to restore the Station Master House. So it's minimal. Councillor Poulton has declared impartiality. This is 13.5.1, still Spencerville Station Master's House. Members of Spencerville Progress and on to Councillor Poulton. I'll just have one more, or are you going to do it during the other two? Yeah, cool. So, and as said, councillors are quite able to do that as the item arises. So we now go to page 9. So page, I'm just going to go back here. Page, it still is page 9. Yes, that's right. So that's announcement by the presiding member without discussion. So that's there. So that goes over page 9 and 10. So then we go to page 11, public questions. So this is when I invite members of the public or members of the gallery to ask questions. So I'm just going to check if there's any questions from the gallery around there. That's no. So if there's none there, I do have one that was pre-submitted. So I'm just going to read it on the member of the public's behalf. So it's from Mr. Glenn Bradbury. So the first question was there any public events or occasions for Reconciliation Week this year? If not, why not? If yes, was advertising and promotion done? And the answer is going to cover both of these questions. And the second question was, will the Shire increase its involvement and public participation in future reconciliation and Indigenous events, weeks, etc.? So we do have a prepared answer which will be in the forum notes available next week. So the Shire of Northern fully recognises and acknowledges the significance of National Reconciliation Week as a time for all Australians to learn about our shared histories, cultures and achievements, and to strengthen respectful relationships between the wider community and Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. As an organisation, we are committed to reconciliation every day, and we continue to work to build upon our relationships with our local Ballodong community. The Shire did not host an event for Reconciliation Week, as in recent years we have instead focused our efforts on organising and hosting a collaborative community NAIDOC Week celebration. This decision was discussed and agreed upon at a recent meeting of some of our local elders who sit on our Cultural Advisory Group. We did acknowledge National Sorry Day and National Reconciliation Week with informative social media posts to the Shire's Bilya Court Budja social media pages. In addition, Shire Council members and staff attended Reconciliation Week events hosted by other organisations such as Central Regional TAFE and APM. We are pleased to announce that our Free Community NAIDOC Week celebration will be held on Thursday the 11th of July from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the fire pit and grounds of the Bilya Court Budja Centre. The event will be a celebration of Aboriginal culture, including a traditional welcome and smoking ceremony, traditional food, dance and music performances from local Noongar performers, free children's activities and information stalls. And the members of the council are also participating in the school Unity Walk, which is on the 18th of June. So that's the answer, and that'll be provided in the forum notes. So just wanted to double check with gallery. No questions from the gallery? No, so we're doing that. So now we're doing item number 7, response to previous public questions taken on notice. That is nil. Item number 8 is receiving of petitions, presentations and deputations. 8.1 petitions, there are nil, none that I'm aware of. So presentations, none, but we do have 8.3 on page 12, deputation. We do have a request, I'll read it out properly, from Jenny Reid, the President of Spencerville Progress Association, regarding 13.5.1, Station Master's House, Spencer's book budget request, and has got a presentation for us, and we'll put the clock up there for 10 minutes just in case you need that. Reminder. So if you could just come up and stand near Councillor Bigland, please, the camera will catch you.
What ticking? Thank you very much for your attention. We're thrilled to be here tonight, and if we can go to the second slide.
If you just turn it off and on the back, it should.
And you normally have to point it at the computer.
Yeah.
Okay. You ready, Chris? Good. Okay, all right. We're starting with proper names. To the second slide, thank you. So what this shows here is the demographic of our community. And what I wanted to point out mostly here was the fact that 55% of Spencer's Brook residents are 55% of them are single household occupancy. The other thing that's really important to show here is that 57% of them are female, and in 64% of them are 55 years and older. So this is what we're all about. We're creating a local facility for community members to be able to engage locally for their well-being. Next slide, please. It's not always Spencer's Brook Progress Association members. Sometimes it's community members that are seeking a sense of belonging. Spencer's Brook has members from 5 different locations, which include Bakersfield, Mokine, Mullokine, Northam, and predominantly 56% Spencer's Brook. Next slide, please. That would be I should turn at the same time as well. We engage in other community organisations. Northam Men's Shed, Clackline Fire Brigade, Northam Historical Society. On a regular basis we hear of historical enthusiasts complimenting us for saving our heritage dwelling. So these are our projects, and what it shows there is the 425.90 hours that we have done as volunteers, because we are all about being volunteers. So the completed projects to date are the bus shelter, furniture, which was made by the Men's Shed in Northam, community library, entrance statement sign, fire shed and truck, which we maintain, the kitchen, toilet and bathroom repairs at the Station Master's house. Next slide, please. Now, despite obstacles, we have managed to host many events. Our Australia Day breakfast is a sought-after calendar event, and we're very grateful to the Shire of Northam for funding towards these events. We have an end-of-year function, Australia Day. Last year we had an artist in residence, and we were very proud that the artist is locally grown in Spencer's Brook, and also Busy Leads. Next slide, please. What I want to show here is our heritage. We're very proud of it. Standing is Andrew Stewart, who built the Station Master's house. On the right is Percy Stewart, who is the Shire Clerk of York, now known as CEO. Left is Andrew's father, Andrew Stewart, and the child is Gordon Stewart. There are 4 generations of Stewarts. They came out from Scotland, moved to South Australia, and then to York. The drawing is a copy from one of the original drawings that we purchased. And on the right is a list of the station masters that have occupied our Station Master's house from it being built in 1902. Next slide, please. So what we're doing is valuing our heritage. Built in 1902, and clearly I'm too young to have been at school to learn about anything other than decimal currency, but what it does show there is how much it costs in pounds, shillings and pence. So the other thing that is on that slide is that the Station Master's house is on the Heritage Council register. The There seems to be some confusion according to the May Forum minutes, which references two station masters' houses within our shire. Our station master's house is at 93 Thomas Street, Spencer's Brook, and the other one that was referred to is 11 kilometres away at Mokai. This is privately owned and we are not involved in that. Next slide, please. Did you know that all the station masters' houses are built exactly the same? The reason being fitting individuals' furniture. Most station masters were encouraged to move every 2 years. Upon completion of the renovations, we hope to restore to the level that Mundaring has and be invited to be part of the exclusive club of the station masters' houses that is not just dotted around Western Australia, but all around Australia. So it's quite a difference from where we started to where we are now, and Mundaring is showing where we'd really like to be. Next slide, please. Most of the original features of the station master's house are intact, including the wavy windows. As you can see, there are not a lot of non-original features inside the house. Next slide, please. What our vision for the building is, after a meeting with the Manager of Planning and Environment, and I'm very grateful for Jackie to give us an audience, Spencer's Brook Progress Association now has relevant information about a suitable use for the Station Master's House. Community purpose is the best fit for the use of the Station Master's House. SBPA would be further progressed if we were provided with this information back in February of 23. We now know that having less than 20 people at one time in the building, and the use as what we tend to use it for is small meeting rooms for singing groups, Progress Association meetings, historical clubs. We'd like to put the Progress office there, craft, bridge, mothers and bubs, and we'd also like to develop a community garden. Basically, we're looking for a home for our community. Next slide, please. What we've done so far is cleaned up the yard, removing weeds and debris, revealed stonework at the back, revealed 2J stone pavement at the back, opened 2 windows that didn't open, which might sound a bit insignificant, but it took quite a bit to open. Laid laminate flooring in the kitchen. Kathy and I are now masters at that. The cleaning, making surrounds, sort of fire safe, repaired leach drains with donated geotech and leach drain lids thanks to Hills Concrete. We're very grateful to the Shire of Northam for the $20,000 grant that helped us replace termite damage in the kitchen subfloor, replace kitchen floor that was uneven, installed kitchen cabinets, bathroom repairs and toilet repairs and refurbishment. Next slide, please. So a look of what was before and is now. The whole is, but it might be some time until we can get the visual treasures in that space. Next slide, please. Repairs to be done as per the building report. What is urgent are the fascias, gutters, downpipes, gutter guard and water tanks. Fretting on the north and south wall, bathroom floor repairs and opening up the remaining 3 windows that are stuck, and that's from paint, dirt and wooden frame issues. Items to be monitored as per building report, plaster and lath ceiling, wall plaster and back veranda wall. Next slide, please. The repairs to be done, items to be done but not considered urgent at this stage, are roof sheeting. There are no leaks in the house at the moment. Fretting of west and east wall, painting interior plus outside rendering, removal of carpets, replacement of missing vents on the inside, repair of leakless stove, chimney cleaning and rebuild, replacement of front veranda and replacement of historical accurate fence. So we were able to, sort of work out exactly what that one was. Oh,
Give you a
Next.
couple more seconds.
yeah, next slide, please. Sorry. Didn't realise that was my thing. Preserving our heritage, and unfortunately, when it was printed, the words are gone. So, what we are planning on doing is replace fascias, guttering, and install our other original, all those things that you can really fish in our plan, replace in the bathroom floor. Next slide, please. So, what we're showing here is look at our history. One train driver was asleep and the other ignored the signals. It was at night and thankfully no one was hurt. They were, however, fined and disciplined. All this happened just under the station master's house. Do you realise the significance of this Spencer's Brook Railway Junction? There were 3 locations in WA that had tea rooms: Perth, Fremantle and Spencer's Brook. Next slide, please. So this is what we are planning. Engagement of private building surveyor certified, independent advice on the accurate building compliance check report, the repairs that are required, any further reports required, engineering, exemption of historical buildings and deemed to comply provisions, order and timeline for repairs of the building, changes required for the change of use from residential to community purpose. Plan for works, repairs to the building, costing and grant applications, building modifications required for certifications, and change of land use application for community purpose once certified. Next slide please. What our expectations are is a level playing field with the other progress associations. Same amenities at the same standard, same equivalent funding. Ratepayers of the Spencer's Brook progress of Spencer's Brook have contributed to all of the other progress association facilities over the decades while we've had none. What I'd like to do is invite you, all of the councillors that have not been to the station master's house. It saddens me deeply that councillors voted to have the house demolished without even going inside, just to walk around the outside. Thankfully, that did not happen. Thank you for your attention. I want to finish by reminding you that we are all just volunteers. We are just trying to make a difference to all our local community people and give them the feeling of being happy, healthy, connected and belonging locally. Thank you.
So I will bring your item forward in a minute, Jenny. So I just want to check with the rest of the gallery. There was no other request for a deputation? No? So we're still on page 12. Item number 9 is applications for leave of absence. That is nil. Item number 10 is confirmation of minutes. 10.1 is confirmation of minutes from the ordinary council meeting held 15th May 2024. Is there any questions on those minutes, councillors? No, so we'll move on. 10.2 is notes from the council forum meeting held 12th of June, that's tonight. So we'll deal with that next week. So we go to page 13. So we have item 11, which is items brought forward for the convenience of those in the public gallery. So I am going to go to page 407, which is 13.5 or 13.5.1, Spencer's Brook Station Master's House budget request. Just want to quickly go through this. So just a reminder that Councillor Spira, President Antonio, Councillor Bigland, Councillor Williams, Councillor Fulton have all declared impartiality in this item. So we've got the background there, Councillor, so I'm just going to see if there's any questions from councillors on this item. No. Councillor Rafferty.
So previously, council moved to have this building demolished. I believe it was 2012. And then in 2018, it was offered by the state government to the Progress Association. What happened in that 6-year timeframe? Is there any reason that it didn't proceed? Is it because it's owned by the state government?
I'll have to put that question to the staff. I don't know.
I believe the original motion was to provide support to the state to demolish it, so it was on the state's end that it was.
Yes, because it's not, the building's not in the ownership of the Shire, so it wouldn't have been our decision to demolish it. It's up to the state government. They own the building, so we may have provided support to them, but it would have been up to them to action that if they had chosen to do so. But I believe in the meantime, there was representations made, and then there was an arrangement then made between Department of Planning, Lands and Heritage, the state government, and the Feds Support Progress Association about the management of the facility.
Further questions, councillors? Yeah, Councillor Guerra.
There was a suggestion that the Shire would support a purpose-built shed for the Progress Association to use. Was there any costing down how much that would cost for us to build, just for that particular reason?
I think there were other options that were explored, and the report and the recommendation certainly references supporting the Progress Association to look at other options, and part of that exploration would be to understand some level of costing that might be. And I think the other options would the other options were offered on the basis that we would be looking for those facilities to be Shire facilities, so we're investing the ratepayers' money in a Shire, what would ultimately be a Shire asset.
Further questions, councillors?
Yes,
Councillor Hughes.
It's previously been put forward that the Shire would take ownership of it, that's so I understand it from the Department of Lands and Planning. Why doesn't the Shire take ownership?
I can only comment on the previous decision, but my understanding is that it was offered to the Shire, and because of the cost involved in upgrading the facility, the Shire didn't want to take it on.
Councillor Mancelli.
Yeah, I was just wondering, are we able to get onto the National Trust to assist in rejuvenating this particular property?
I think certainly, I mean, one of the parts of the recommendation is to have a management plan, and I think the Progress Association indicated in their presentation that they're looking to do some sort of management plan, which would be really helpful to understand how much it would cost to do the works, the order in which the works need to be done. While it's also looking at the zoning of the land, the other issue would be there would probably need to be designated as a public building, and then there will be requirements that will come from that as well. So certainly if there is something like a management plan or a business plan done, that would certainly assist with looking at other funding opportunities, and we can certainly support the Progress Association with looking at what other funding opportunities might be available.
Yeah, I've got a supplementary question. Given that it was a staging post with a fair bit of significance, given that it had some tea rooms, etc., this is the last remaining piece of infrastructure out there associated with the railways.
Question.
Yes, I'm getting to it. You know, is there any way we can assist with the preservation of this heritage building?
I believe it was previously on our municipal heritage inventory, but I don't believe it's on the latest list from what I've had a look at, and I don't believe it's on the state heritage register as well, but the Development Services Exec Manager may want to comment further.
Yeah, it's still contained in our municipal heritage inventory. I think it's, but it's not state registered at this stage, so it hasn't got that level of a high level of protection as a state listed property does, unfortunately.
Further questions, councillors? Councillor Bigelow.
We've done the exercise between
what it would be to purchase the building that we didn't want to purchase from the state government, if that's how you approach it, as opposed to for costing as it is to get a purpose or built one. You know, if it's going to cost us $200,000 to get another building for them, is it going to cost us $200,000 to purchase and refurb what is a heritage listed building?
That would depend on the nature of the facility, obviously, and I guess because we haven't had the management plan, we don't actually know the cost of the work, so it's hard to do a comparison without actually understanding whether the works that are required to facilitate this becoming effectively a public building, which will also have accessibility requirements potentially. We don't know what the cost of that is at this point in time, so it's hard to do a comparison without knowing and without having that information about the management plan for the facility.
Yeah, Councillor Hughes, first, and I have a question. Question, Councillor Mintuli.
Yeah. Under the management order, there's certain requirements. I was just wondering, does the Spencer's Brook Progress Association have any plans to do further works on the property? I acknowledge the fact that there's been quite a bit done there over the last couple of years since you've had the management order, but has there been any cost estimates given to repoint all the brickwork around the place? It's not a big job in the overall scheme of things.
What I'll do is, instead of engaging with the Spencer Brook, I'll get the staff to answer that before next week, because that staff won't know at the moment.
No.
That would be quite difficult to get those costings because there's a range of work that needs to be undertaken. If you look at the report that was produced by the Shire and I think provided to the Spencer's Brook Progress Association in July 2023, that works hasn't been costed by the Shire, and it probably would be, I would imagine, quite challenging to do that between now and next week.
And to answer part of your question, the Progress put up their plans in that presentation. So do that answer part of your question. So loosely.
But given that they've done quite a bit of work on the place, do they intend to do further works to get the place up to scratch?
Well, according to the presentation, yes.
Yes.
Well, hopefully.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Further questions, councillors? Councillor Bigland?
The building report that the Shire undertook, was that undertaken by a registered builder, or was that just undertaken by the health department internally?
It's completed by its internal staff, so not a building qualified building surveyor, but not a qualified builder as such.
Right.
Is it not in the interest of the Shire to have a qualified builder to undertake the report, because we have been provided one from the Spencer's Brook Progress Association?
I mean, ultimately, yes, we were involved. There were issues with compliance, people living in the facility, in the building, I should say. So it's not our building, so it's not our role as such. It was done because of that issue that was raised. So, and obviously the Progress Association have got their own independent building report, and I think part of their proposal is to engage someone independently as well, building certified, look at those exact issues.
Just noting, I think the report that was done at the time indicated it was an appraisal, not an engineer, electrical, plumbing, termite or glazing report. So I think it was kind of an appraisal that was done at the time. It's not a detailed building report per se.
But the appraisal does say that it's not fit for people to be in with unless it's under 10 people. So we can't really. We've got to be careful saying that they can't use it if we're not qualified to say that.
We'll take that as a question for next week. Other questions, councillors? Yeah, Councillor Guerra.
Although Councillor Biddle was referring to that report said under 10 people, but then the most current presentation as a under 20.
So we'll clarify that by next week, unless we've got the answer now.
Consistency in the data as well.
Yeah, we'll clarify that, councillor. Councillor Hughes?
Do you have to upgrade the leach drain to leach drains when you're only doing like repair work on a place, or? Because it says there on the report that there's only a single leach drain, and that would have to be upgraded. Would it
I'm going to have to definitely direct that to the staff, councillor Hughes. I think Mr. Hunt would know.
Ultimately depends what the use and the long-term use of the building is. Obviously, if it's going to be used as a public building, then the current septic system is probably not adequate. But until the assessment's made, it's difficult by that comment.
Further questions, councillors? Just, can we just have clarified for next week, just so we don't go into now who actually owns the Mundaring Station Master House? Please? Just so we know. Probably got an answer, but we'll just clarify. Yeah. Further questions, councillors? If not, so as I said, this is not a decision-making night, but question and answer. So all members of the gallery who are here for that item are quite welcome to go and stay at your leisure. So if you say you've got hospitality, if you go, there's no problem with that either. So we'll deal with the decision next week. So we now go back to page 13. So item number 12 is reports of committee meetings. 12.1 is Bushfire Advisory Committee meeting. So we have both minutes and thank you. We have both minutes and recommendations. Just a reminder with this, Councillor Williams has declared impartiality. So some members of the Bushfire Brigades are known to Councillor Williams, and just a reminder that Councillors Appleton, Hughes and Fulton all declared impartiality in this item as well. And just got your advice. There's a very slight change to better for next week. I haven't got the hard copy in front of me, so it's very, very minor. So the spelling of McDonald's, so you'll see that recommendation in number 4, and just following that on the next page. So on page 13 and 14, so it's just spelling McDonald. So just so everyone's aware of that. So in case you know two Christopher McDonald's and each one have got different spelling, you know which one we're referring to. But anyway, so questions on that item, councillors, either on the minutes or the recommendations? No? Even I haven't got questions on them. So then we go to page 15. So item 13 is item 13 is officer reports, my apologies. 13.1 is CEO's office. 13.1.1 is delegated authority register review. Is there any questions on this, councillors? Councillor Williams?
Just wondering why, should the fact that the delegated authority register was not up to current standard, is that not something that would get picked up by the audit committee or the auditors?
I don't think the auditors wouldn't be reviewing, they do the financial side of things, so it wouldn't have been picked up through that. I'm not sure how recent the WALGA model template is, but certainly I guess it's been an opportunity to look at the model template with reviewing the delegated authority register and certainly understanding whether that may be moving forward a better model to use. And we're thinking it probably will, but it requires quite a major review to align with that model template.
Further questions on this item, councillors? No, so everyone knows that we've got a recommendation and we've got a workshop lined up for that as well. Yep. So that's that item. We'll now go to page 311. So item 13.1.2, fees and charges community halls. Just a reminder that Councillor Guérac, President Antonio, Councillor Hughes, Councillor Polton, Councillor Michele, Councillor Appleton, Councillor Bidland, Councillor Williams, all reporting partiality in this item. So questions on this, councillors? Councillor Williams.
If progress associations want to change what they charge, or something turns up that they haven't encountered before that requires a new fee, will that be very complicated to change? Will it just come through the next council meeting as a change to the fees and charges?
It would just come through the next council meeting as an amendment to the schedule of fees and charges, so it's fairly straightforward.
And if a progress association wants to allow free use of their facility for, say, a community funeral or whatever, is that allowed? Does that have to, because it's not a hire as such, there's no money changing hands, does that need to be included somewhere, or is that just?
I thought it was included.
Yes, so we have included vacancy requests for free hire. I believe there was a couple of free local community funerals in there for free. So if there is any other, I suppose, reoccurring events or anything like that that do happen within the community that require a fee waiver, sorry, I shouldn't say fee waiver, that are free, that does need to be included in the schedule of fees and charges.
And apologies, I actually read the whole thing and it's that long.
Don't worry, Councillor Williams, so did I. But I've got a follow-up question, if that's right, Councillor Williams, you have no more questions?
No, that's fine.
So did the groups for the leases, the Progress Association, the leases that are renewing at the moment, were they given the option to list which free events they would have?
We requested all of their fees and charges that they charge for hiring out the facilities. So yes, we did give all of them the opportunity to put forward.
I'm going to rephrase the question and say, can they be re-asked just to check? Because they might not have, they might not have thought what's a free, like Bakersfield were obviously on the ball and thought about that, but other progress might not have thought about the free events.
Yeah,
If I'm asking you as a question,
yeah.
can we please recheck?
Yeah, we can. And we did, sorry, I just want to point out as well, we did have the clap line for high fees come through, so we have added them in and that will be included in the ordinary council.
In my defence, he did say well the OTM, so I didn't look for it. Yeah. Councillor Bigland first.
Was the intention of the leases not to bring them all in line with the shire fees? Hence why when they were progress, when we got our leases in line with the shire fees.
We did give the Wundowie Progress Association the opportunity to put forward their fees and charges. Being that there's such a vast difference between the facilities available with the different communities, or the like Bakersfield is very different to what Pathfinder may have to offer, or Spencer's Brook is a lot smaller, all those sorts of things that we do need to take into consideration. This year we did allow for them to put forward what they are charging. The other reason is that I think we need, if we're going to be changing the fees across the board, we probably need to do a bit more consultation with the communities before we do that. So I suppose that is something that we may look forward to in the future, I should say, if we are going to align the fees or not.
A follow-up question, I think, yeah, I'll let you go first. Yeah.
Would that not be something that should be done at the progress meetings that was initiated with the CEO earlier this year, and we were having another one in 6 months' time? Would that not be the forum to try and align these fees? Because aren't the leases for 5 years?
They are for 5 years, yeah.
So in 5 years, these rates don't change?
Not necessarily, because they may.
With the fees and charges we do every year. So to answer that question, we normally redo them.
We advise these, but as the progress is, because these are going to be written into the lease agreement.
No.
Or am I misunderstanding?
So I think the clause in the lease agreements is that that the Progress Associations commit to charge in line with what is in the schedule of fees and charges. So effectively they could change from year to year. The commitment from the Progress Association is to charge what's in the schedule of fees and charges.
This is going in the schedule of fees and charges?
You're not in the leases.
Yes.
To answer your question. Yeah, Councillor Gierac.
Yeah, and thank you. Just looking at these different the fees and charges are structured. So it is up to totally to the Progress Association if they want to charge different rates for the community and different commercial rates, or we should somehow.
To answer your question, it has always been up to the Progress Department and theirs before Councillor Bigman tells me I'm wrong. Yeah, has always been up to the Progress Associations. It just hasn't been included in the fees and charges. So all that was picked up recently was whatever the Progress are charging had to be included in the fees and charges. And I think the CEO just sort of covered it, like the halls, they vary in size and availability and amenity.
Yeah, I understand that there are variations in price, but like I wonder if there would be a kind of a suggested template or a suggested model that they charge, like bakers charge different rates for community use and different rates for commercial use. And I find that, that's pretty fair because generally that's the way what the community would expect it to be. But other progresses just have one set fee regardless of who is using it. So I'm just wondering if that could be something to encourage, and then could be encouraged also to put in
Probably
the
up
free
to our
one.
debate when we're doing it next week.
Yeah.
Probably more along the lines.
I think picking up Councillor Bigland's point though, there is an opportunity to work with the Progress Associations to see if we can get some more consistency between the different Progress Associations. But this was an issue where we have had advice that if the Progress Associations are managing the facilities on behalf of the Shire, that it actually needs to be in the schedule of fees and charges, because as a local government, we actually can't charge anybody apart from waste fees and rates, anything that's not in the schedule of fees and charges. But we can certainly do some work with the Progress Associations to get some more consistency.
Further questions, councillors? No? Okay, so we go to page 316. So 13.2 is engineering services, that is nil. 13.3 is development services, that is nil. 13.4 is corporate services. 13.4.1 is accounts and statement of accounts, May 2024. I notice that some questions have come in, so they'll be answered in due course. Is there any urgent questions for this? Otherwise, they'll still be emailed in and answered by next week. So, no urgent questions. Then we go to page 385. So 13.4.2, financial report for the period ending 31 May 2024. Any urgent questions on this one, councillors? Just got to have one because it's not a specific one, Colin, I've got to ask it. So we're in June now, so this is for May. So we're looking to be fairly much on track by the end of June. Probably a hard question to answer. Regarding the annual reports, like income and expenditure and things like that. Bear in mind, we might get bad grants early and things like that, but we're pretty well going to be on budget.
And overall, I understand things will be on budget.
Just a generic question. So anything else urgent? So then we go to page 401. So 13.4.3, schedule of fees and charges, 2024-25 additional health fees. Any questions on this one, councillors? Yep, Councillor Ryan.
Just with regards to the stint penetration establishment fee and the hairdressing establishment fee, they've been struck out. Is the history of that? The history of those?
They were legislated by.
Essentially, it's they still require a registration fee if it's a new business. This is the annual fee. We've checked with a number of other local governments, they don't charge an annual inspection fee. The levels are banned to local governments, and there's no legislative requirement to have it. So if they don't pay it, there's no enforcement action we can take to
Thank you.
Further, yep, councillor Poulton.
I was wondering if you could just go through some of the costings and what they're used for. So the noise exemption application form, for example.
So a noise exemption application, one that's just been advertised at the moment, the public may be aware of. We get an application from the gun club to do a noise there's a little bit of commentary on social media about that. So we didn't, I think previously we had a fee, it's just been missed off, so it's to, obviously we need to process them, we need to advertise, consult, then form a report, etc. So that's to process that application for the exemption request.
Councillor Poulton answered the question. Councillor Poulton, you think it was for music festivals or something like that?
Oh, I was more interested in the noise exemption is significantly higher than any of the others. I was just wondering why.
Probably deep question.
Yeah, sorry, it's a statutory fee, so that's not set by council. So as I understand it, I'll double check under the regulations. So that's it's either a council fee or a statutory fee. This one's a statutory fee. So it's prescribed by regulation what we can and can't charge.
So we probably can't answer what. Further questions on this item, councillors? No. No, so then we've done 13.5.1, then we go page 433. So we are going to go behind closed doors. Can I ask the members of the public just to go out the back? Oh, sorry? Oh, so we do need to move, my apologies. So we've got the recommendation. Councillor Ryan moved, Councillor Mencheli seconded. It's procedural, so I put that back to the vote. All those in favour by show of hands. That's 9-0, that's carried. Carried. So can we please grab a member of the gallery? Have they eaten all the pizza?
No, we ain't, I can tell.
So we're on page 433 of 433. Item 15 of motions of which previous notice has been given, that is nil. Item number 16 is urgent business approved by decision, that is nil. Item number 17, declaration of closure is made at 6:28 p.m. So thank you, councillors, thank you, staff, for your insights as usual. Thank you, members of the gallery, for being good members of the gallery.